Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the very first show of 2021. This is the Focus TV. We're also happy to be here with you all. Joined as always by Octavia Wyatt. We got Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. Once again, welcome to the Focus TV. I believe this is episode 191. Yeah, I had 2 weeks off, so I could actually have time to look at the numbers of the episode. And we know within a couple weeks, I will forget. I will have to be reminded whatever number pops up. But hope everybody had a happy New Year's. You guys enjoyed time. Enjoyed your time with your family during the holiday season as much as you could. You know, due to this socially distanced world for all of us that are being responsible. That said, we got a lot to get through tonight, man. And we had 2 weeks without you guys. Sports doesn't know how to chill, so we're gonna get there real quick. Want to shout out Devontae Smith, University of Alabama wide receiver, for winning the Heisman Trophy. Shout out to my man for doing that, because usually they just hand stuff to quarterbacks, but he's been exceptional, and I was worried that they wouldn't give it to him since then. You know, like last week they gave him the AP player, the offensive player of the year. I was like, oh, they about to do him dirty for a quarterback, because, you know, quarterbacks don't really matter. It's irrelevant that it's a factory of wide receivers through Alabama, and this boy proved he was different, even with the guys that were there last year. So credit to him. You know, their national title games next week, taking on Ohio State. His Alabama Crimson Tide will be doing that. Tonight, we're going to talk about the NFC East and their wild finish to the season. I'm sure there will be some jokes. You know, the division seems to right themselves. We got a college segment coming up, a Wizards update. And but before we get started with any of that, Cardell, new issue of Finest Mag, man. What they got to expect?
Just a season preview of all the levels, NBA, college, and I know COVID has shut down a lot of high school, leagues and whatnot. But I know they didn't shut all that down. But even some high school players to look at as we move forward. So we got a high school showcase I will be speaking on shortly later on the show, and a lot of players. Well, a handful of players that got the opportunity to play in a few showcases during the summer, and early fall will be playing in it. So just giving people a good look at what to look for this season, especially at the high school level. It's just unfortunate that the 2021 players can't compete, try to earn more scholarship, earn different opportunities. So check it out, and you get a good idea of what's going on.
All right. Octavia, your division. Floor is yours.
I'm first going to start off by saying I'm so glad the regular season is over. This is the last day for all the jokes. After this, I don't care anymore. Catch me back in like August, maybe, or around draft time. We can talk again, but it is what it is at this point. I'll do a quick. I'm keep it short and simple this week. It ain't too much to talk about. Last game of the season, we had two divisional games. We had, we had the Giants versus the Cowboys, and then the Washington football team versus the Eagles. I'll start with the earlier game, which was the Giants versus the Cowboys. Giants defeated the Cowboys 23-19. Andy Dalton was 29 of 47, 243 yards, 1 interception, and 7 carries for 48 yards. Ezekiel Elliott had 14 carries for 42 yards and 1 touchdown, and 3 receptions for 19 yards. And Dalton Schultz had 7 receptions for 70 yards. On the other side of the ball, Daniel Jones was 17 of 25, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 9 carries for 17 yards. Wayne Gallman had 11 carries for 65 yards. Sterling Shepard had 8 receptions, 112 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 carries for 24 yards and 1 touchdown. And Dante Pettis, 2 receptions, 43 yards and 1 touchdown. Again, not going to say much. It was what it was with this game. The Giants started off really, really strong. Cowboys were able to rally at late to kind of still make it competitive. But the Giants were having their way. At one point, it was talked about how Daniel Jones said, who's coming back off of the hamstring issue. He said that he might be limited. He may stay in the pocket, but it seemed to be a ruse because he ran a decent amount, probably not as much as he's done during a year, but he was able to move a little bit. Biggest takeaway, Sterling Shepard, again, who has had a lot of injury issues this year. He was only able to play in 11 games this year, but he had a breakout game for himself with the 2 touchdowns, the rushing touchdown with the 24 yards. So it's promise for him. My biggest disappointment for the Giants, to me, is Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram started off as a really, really good tight end, and I just don't think he's produced well this year. He's been very sporadic. He'll have a really good game, and then he'll cost you a game the next week with drop balls and just not playing up to his level. I say all that saying that he was selected to the Pro Bowl, which is crazy. But if you think about it, there were a lot of injuries with top tier tight ends in the NFC, so they really didn't have much to pick from, in my opinion. But Cowboys tried to bring it back. Andy Dalton had a decent game. Zeke had a decent game, who's also been struggling with a calf injury. The wide receivers didn't go off as much. Credit to the Giants defense. They were able to keep them at bay because I feel like the Cowboys have the best wide receiving crew in the NFC East, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. But Greg Zerlin was able to, keep them in the game with a lot of the field goals, but it just wasn't enough, and the Giants were able to pull away, which at that point put them in a position to win the NFC East, pending the late game, which was the Washington football team versus the Eagles. If the Washington football team lost to the Eagles, the Giants would have gone to the playoffs. If the Redskins Washington football team, if they had won, they would go into the playoffs with the NFC East title. And the Washington football team was actually victorious in that game, where they defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 20-14. Alex Smith was 22 of 32, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 1 carry for 0 yards. Antonio Gibson making his return from an injury with a toe injury, 19 carries, 75 yards, 1 reception for 6 yards. Terry McLaurin also returned from an injury, 7 receptions for 40 yards and 1 touchdown. And to me, their breakout player of the year outside of Antonio Gibson, it was Logan Thomas, tight end. I honestly probably would have been okay with him taking it over Evan Ingram, but Logan Thomas, 3 receptions, 37 yards for 1 touchdown. On the other side of the ball, Jalen Hurts was 7 of 20, 72 yards, 1 interception, 8 carries for 34 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. I don't even want to say this one, but Nate Sudfeld was 5 of 12, 32 yards.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Who was that?
Nate Sudfeld. That was me talking into my mic, guys.
Sam talking.
5 of 12, 32 yards, 1 interception, 2 carries for 12 yards. Boston Scott had 15 carries, 65 yards, 2 receptions for 14 yards, and JJ Arcega-Whiteside, 2 receptions for 40 yards. This should tell you everything you need to know. I like we were talking before the show started. I'm being completely honest. I didn't care if we won or lost this game because either way, somebody from our division was getting the title and going to the playoffs. So I really didn't care who it was. In my opinion, from jump, it was notable that they didn't really care either. We didn't really care either. There were plenty of starters that were out. Yes, most of it was due to injuries, but let it have been any other game they would have played. So they saved them. Like Miles Sanders, he was injured earlier in the year, but he's been better. So many injuries. The whole freaking offensive line has been injured. For goodness sake, JJ Arcega-Whiteside was the leading receiver. Like, not saying our receivers are great, but it was JJ Arcega-Whiteside. And not to even take anything away from the Washington football team, they played a great game. Alex Smith stepping back in from the newly released Dwayne Haskins. If you didn't know, he was released by the team due to numerous of instances that he's had while being there. The latest of him being caught in the club with no mask and some other various females. Wasn't a good look, and to be honest, I was surprised they didn't cut him the week before. I just think that they really just wasn't sure Alex was going to be able to go and didn't really have any faith in the backup Heineke, however you say his name. But even in that game, he got benched for him, and he actually came in and did a lot better. So I'll be the first to say kudos to the Washington football team, for winning the division. And they're on an upswing, defensive four is top tier. They have a good receiving core now. I've always liked McLaurin. And with Logan Thomas coming on, I think he's going to be big next year. Antonio Gibson is doing well. As long as he doesn't get injured anymore, I think he'll be a standout for them next year as well. And Terry McLaurin as well. I just feel like if they maybe get like one more receiver kind of stepped up a little bit more, probably between the Sims, either Cam Sims or Steve Sims, just to see which one kind of has a more breakout season next year. They're going to be good. It's going to be crazy next year in the NFC East. A lot of teams have early picks this year. Some teams don't have early picks, but a lot of people had a lot of injuries this year. Hopefully we'll see Dak back next year, coming back from the ankle injury. Hopefully you never know what's going to happen with the quarterback position for the Washington football team. One person I'm keeping an eye on is Cam. It's already been noted that he probably won't be returning to the Patriots. So we'll see if he makes his way down to DC. The Eagles, of course, is going to be a cluster. Word I can't say. Off season with everything going on with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. Are they going to re-sign Zach Ertz? I'm going to let him go since Dallas Goedert has come up. And then, of course, the return of Saquon Barkley, who had an ACL injury earlier in the year. They were able to have a decent running game without him, even with all the changes between Gallman, Deion Lewis, and even Devontae Freeman coming in briefly. Saquon's been out for a while, but I expect him to bounce back and have a good year next year. So if you don't know, the Washington football team is going to the playoffs. Congratulations to them, I guess. Just a quick overview of what's going on in the league now. Going forward for the rest of the year, I'll just give you guys a couple of little insights as far as the playoff games. Wildcard weekend does start this Saturday. So far, you're going to have the Colts versus the Bills at 1:05 on Saturday. Following that will be the Rams and the Seahawks at 4:40. And then the night game was going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington football team. So they will have the night game this Saturday. And starting off on Sunday, it's going to be the Ravens and the Titans at 1:05. And then the Bears and the Saints at 4:40. And then the Browns and the Steelers will wrap up Wildcard weekend Sunday night at 8:15. So it's going to be a good weekend of games. I'm excited to see a couple games. Probably 3. Yeah, I'm good about 3 of them. I kind of have a feeling of the outcome of the other 3, but playoffs, you never know what's going to happen. COVID is still very real. So they have to be very, very careful going into the rest of the playoffs. And every Giants fan, I don't care if you don't like us. We don't like you either. Like Eli Manning sent a whole tweet. It was like, and this is why we don't like the Philadelphia Eagles. And Fletcher Cox said, we don't like you either. Like, get over it. Your record sucked just like ours too. Like, everybody's record sucked. Nobody had a winning record. You got a team in there that had 7-9 or 6-10 was a Washington football team, one or the other. Like, let it go. The whole division sucked. We lost. We got a better draft spot, and that's what it is. Drops mic. I'm done.
Where's Thanos when you need it? You need to snap that whole division out of football.
No.
Oh man.
We will try to next year.
Oh man. But yeah, my only thing I got to say, this period with a lot of teams, the offseason is going to be interesting. Just a reminder, that cap is not 190 something, it's 175 tops. If it gets pushed up a little bit, it's 180 something. A lot of the teams that you root for have not managed their money correctly. Free agency is about to get interested. Decisions will be made. Draft picks might become a premium. It will be funny. There's a couple of teams in New Orleans Saints who are negative 90+ million in the salary cap. People have to go, and not to cheat people either. You don't get rid of 90 mil by cutting the cheap folks. So trades are going to have to happen. Moves are going to have to be made. It will be interesting. So in essence,
now that I can't wait
COVID
for.
COVID pretty much pulled the whole Thanos snap because of salary cap in the NFL where they don't pay you anyways. Man, good luck to all those folks that are in contract years. Y'all not about to get paid. If you miss a game, if you miss a COVID test, that might as well dock you $5 million. You know they don't play. It's going to be interesting.
If y'all all pro, come to Denver. Suge Knight.
Don't worry.
Only people all pro. We ain't all pro.
Nate is
I'm on my LeBron, man. I'm tired of this. Man, I'm on my LeBron. All top players head out to Denver.
Nate is on the way. He will be the starting quarterback next year.
You know what? Bring him out here. We'll do something with him because y'all sabotage. I don't like how y'all set him up. If y'all to block or something, do something. God.
Take him. Please take him. I don't ever want to see Nate Sudfeld to get him out of that.
Technically, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might need to keep Nate because everybody in your quarterback room not going to make it through free agency. So,
man.
Speaking of money,
I honestly would rather pick up another one in like the fourth, fifth round, and I would take a rookie or anybody. I'm tired of it. It's bad juju. We need new energy.
Cardell might.
You gotta deal with him.
The Broncos might be the proud owner of the new Wentz. With anything can happen. But that man's been paid.
I'm not gonna be surprised if he ends up in Indianapolis. I will not be surprised if he ends up there. That's where I'm.
It got to be somewhere where they're putting money. They don't care because that cost. My God, what they. Anyways,
we have a lot of money.
They paid that man half. Okay, so
how things
coming up, we got
fast.
a college segment. Look, I'm trying not to say anything else petty. So
I'm done. I'm done.
Our college segment. Going to take a quick break, but when we return from the break, we're going to listen on GW Men's post-game call. Cardell was on there asking some questions, getting some insight. So you guys, we'll see you in a matter of minutes. You're watching the Focus TV. We'll be right back.
Coach, one thing I saw throughout the game and the previous games is James Bishop and Tyler Brailsford. Their chemistry seems to be getting stronger and stronger, and playing off one another as playmaker and scorer. Talk about that chemistry development and how pivotal is that for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, we absolutely love Tyler Brailsford and Lincoln Ball and Noel Brown. We love these freshmen that we have here. We think these guys are all going to be dynamic players for us. And the one thing, a lot of credit goes to Tyler. Early in the year he wasn't playing, but we put together a great plan for him to keep improving, and he attacked that plan to improve, and he attacked it in practice every day, having some amazing days in practice scoring the basketball. So we always have a lot of confidence in him because he was able to take that tough conversation and really turn it into just getting better every single day. He's definitely a guy that defensively has been great for us on the weak side, and then offensively he can always score the ball. He's one of the top scorers in the Baltimore Catholic League last year, one of the best leagues in the country, so he can always find a way to score the ball. And then him and James are best friends, so they always got great chemistry. They're always looking for each other and finding each other. And I think those possessions where we can get James off the ball a little bit. James is a great catch and shoot player, so we don't want him always on the ball. We'd love to get him off the ball. Somewhere guys have to respect his catch and shoot ability and his rip drive ability. Tyler's given us the ability to be able to do that. And a lot of huge plays for him today. Rebounding that last rebound there, chasing it down, getting to the free throw line in crucial moments and making big plays for us. But we expect that from him. We recruited him here because we believe he's going to be a great player, and we expect him to play like that, and he's stepping up and doing that right now.
James, what's going on? Cardell Dudley from Finance Magazine. What was the mentality for you guys trying to bounce back from yesterday's loss where y'all came in here locked and even more prepared to pull out this win?
I thought it was just it started last night and started this morning. We had a meeting last night just to go over things that didn't work so well and what we could do to change. And I think we came in this morning through walkthrough, went through everything, and we just executed the plan that Coach had. Like I said, I've said it a million times, but I think that was the main thing. We believed in each other, and I think that was the main part to us being successful today.
So, obviously you had a great offensive value shooting the ball, but you got in there and got 7 rebounds against a team that has a lot of bruising, tough bigs. How important was that for all you guys in the front court, so to speak, to get in there and control the board?
I think it was very important. I mean, having guys like Matt Moyer, Chase Parr, Hunter Dean, those type of guys who are going to get you rebounds, and me being in there, I thought I could help out with that. I mean, I haven't got a lot of rebounds the past few games, but trying to help those guys out. And you see what Matt Moyer did today. He got the defensive stop at the end. He got a lot of rebounds just like he does every other game. So I think it was just helping those guys out as much as I could.
So on that last possession for the game winner, what did you see? It looked like at first you was going to try to cut to the basket, and you back around the screen, popped open. So what were you seeing that allowed you to get that wide open and get that shot off?
Oh, that was the play. You have J-Mo cutting around to get a look at the basket, so I just kind of wait and take my time, and then I seen how he was playing me, so I just kind of gave it a little push off and then got the screen and was able to get the shot off.
Kind of think to yourself, trying to make sure everybody else getting involved, and kind of as the second half went on, you got aggressive. Is that something you feel like you're going to have to keep doing, or it just depends on the game?
Yeah, it depends on the game. Coach always tells me to just be instinctual and be able to make whatever plays in front of me. So today I felt like in the first half, my guys were really, really open. They were really playing me really tight. So I feel like in the first half I was able to really facilitate. And then in the second half, since I have already facilitated, now they got to worry about everybody else. And I was able to kind of get going a little bit.
Welcome back to the Focus TV. As you saw, Cardell knocking out his GW coverage. So let's start with you. This portion of the segment. Anything else you want to chime in with the GW men's?
Yeah, I'm going to just give a quick rundown of what happened this weekend for the men's and women's side. GW men split with Duquesne over the weekend, coming out of 3-7 on the season. On Saturday, GW fell to the Dukes 75-63. James Bishop led the way with the game high 21 points, 3 assists. Jamison Battle added 17 points and 4 rebounds, and Matt Moyer posted a double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds. The Dukes front court of Marcus Weathers, Michael Hughes, and reserve Amari Kelly combined for 41 of the Dukes' 75 points, and also grabbed 15 rebounds as together. They out-rebounded the Colonials 40-32 and held the Colonials to 18% shooting from deep. If most people don't know, GW relies heavily on their three-point shooting, so if they shoot 18%, more than likely it's going to be a L. On Sunday, GW rebounded greatly. It was a tough battle, but the tables turned. Led by career-high 29 points from Jamison Battle, who shot 10 for 19 from the field, 6 of 13 from 3, and grabbed 7 rebounds. They defeated Duquesne 75-73 after a go-ahead three-pointer from James Bishop, who finished with 16 points and 7 assists. Forward Matt Moyer also added another double-double with 14 points and 15 rebounds. Marcus Weathers led the Dukes with 19 points and 12 rebounds on 8 of 13 shooting. GW shot better from deep, hitting 36%, and they fouled out starting center Michael Hughes, who was only able to stay on the floor for about 7 minutes and finished with 2 points and 2 rebounds. That affected Duquesne tremendously. GW's ball movement was also much better on Sunday, and it kept the Dukes off balance. In their loss, GW only had 4 assists, and on Sunday when they won, they finished with 14 assists. It's a big difference. GW will next take on 2 and 3 UMass tomorrow at 6 p.m. Also, Jamison Battle was named A-10 Player of the Week for the first time in his career. Sophomore sniper averaged 23.3 points and 5 rebounds on 54% shooting from the field to help lead GW to a 2-1 week. He's one of 3 players in the A-10 right now, averaging at least 17 points and 5.5 rebounds per game, while ranking 3rd in the A-10 in threes. Also, some more news. 3 players transferred from GW over the Christmas break. Former sophomore point guard Jameer Nelson Jr., senior guard Marcel Jack, and reserve center Ace Stallings all transferred, seeking better opportunities to continue their career. On GW women's side, they fell in a close contest to 5-2 Fordham, 53-47, dropping to 3-5 on the season. Ford Neela Luma finished with 10 points and 7 rebounds. However, the Colonials couldn't deal with the round daily duo of Anna DeWolf and Caitlin Downey. The 5'8" DeWolf scored a game high 21 points and dished out 5 assists, while 6'1" Downey finished with 10 points and 18 rebounds. GW Women's will next host 2-0 St. Louis this Friday at 5 p.m.
All right. As far as the Maryland women, last night they had a really tough Big Ten game. They took on Indiana at home in College Park. They were able to hold Indiana off 84-80. Diamond Miller and Ashley Owusu had 20 points apiece. Miller had 18 of her 20 in the second half. The Terps got off to a hot start, building a 16-point lead. At one point, doing what they do best, getting stops. They are a blur in transition. But Indiana had they're a veteran-led team, and they weren't fazed by going down 16. They took their time, got the game back on their terms. They controlled the tempo to start the third quarter, cut the lead to as little as 2. Maryland did a good job just rebounding. Indiana owned the first 5.5 minutes of the third quarter, and then Maryland took control again by the end. But the fourth quarter was a doozy. You had a wild call late on Diamond Miller. It was an out-of-bounds play. She tried to swim over her defender. Inadvertently knocked the young lady in her face, knocked her out the game. But it was an offensive foul. They ruled it an intentional foul, which gave Indiana 2 free throws and the ball. And, of course, veteran-laden team, James Berger, Mackenzie Holmes, they converted, and they put some pressure on Maryland. There were a few lapses on Maryland on both ends down the stretch, but Katie Benzan, one of those senior transfers, she was huge, knocked down 4 consecutive free throws late to seal the win. Maryland remains undefeated in Big Ten play against Indiana. Their personal series against each other. Maryland moved to 11-0 with the win last night. They'll hit the road to take on Michigan State on Thursday. If you guys get a chance.
A tough one.
Tune in on Thursday, man. Ashley Wilson is really coming into her own. I know a lot of people excited about the way Maryland's able to stretch the floor with their outside shooters. Look, folks, I know some of y'all don't be fooled. The mid-range game is not dead. She has been murdering folks out the mid-range, and it has changed things for Maryland. One, that handle, she's already going to get you up out of space. Secondly, her coming downhill, advantage her. I don't care who you are. That's a big guard. All right, she's not the one that takes the winner. She's initiating the contact, and she's not the one that's hurting once the whistle's blown. It's just if the ref is back and you get a pity call, if the charge is offensive foul on her. Sometimes the refs are kind of like, that's on you. Get in the weight room. She lifts. You should too. Work it out. But she's been a huge piece for Maryland with them missing Angel Reese, and we saw how quickly Angel acclimated herself to the collegiate level early this season. They're missing a big piece of their team. That said, they've yet to lose a Big Ten game. But again, Ashley Owusu, I want to bring up a play last night, but I don't want to at the same time because the young lady ended up getting hurt in the play. So I'm going to be an adult. Leave it alone. If you happen to come across the play, happened last night in the second half, Owusu and that handle, yeah, it's something to deal with. All right, 9-4-50 breakdown. 9-4-50 breakdown. I mean, she got split into the pick and turned her ankle.
Hate to see it.
You're right. She did get slid into the pick. You're damn right. That's the problem.
The worst part is, I'm being an adult. The commentators, I think it was Mowens and Antonelli. They had no chill during that moment. It was literally someone's ankles got broken, even when they helped the young lady off the court. Man, and you knew it was coming because she got too close and bop, and that was that. Hit the midi and we went back down court. Only everybody wasn't able to go back down. No, it was
DMV way back. It's about my business.
Yeah. That's exactly what that was. And for the rest of the game,
man.
Hey, look, man, that's as mature as I could be during it. They play on Thursday, I think at 5 p.m. You might want to watch if you haven't caught them. And shout out to Chloe Bibby and Katie Benzan. They've done a great job with their senior leadership. Just kind of, Benzan coming from Harvard. just playing her role, not trying to do too much, which I give both of them credit for because you're seniors coming to a team and with some younger folks, and you just filling your role and trying to do what's best for the team. Baby providing an outside shot as a big, and give them credit, they're working. Diamond Miller continuing to evolve. Cardell, Ray, we've all been talking. If y'all have watched us on different mediums, we've been telling y'all what the WNBA game is going. These 6'3", 6'4" folks that can put the ball on the floor. And yeah, it's fun. And also, we haven't done it in a while, but we had started a college show and stuff's getting crazy. But I just want to go ahead to our own horn. We've been on the Caitlin Clark thing from the beginning of the season. We've been telling y'all Caitlin Clark was acting a fool at Iowa. She's been acting a complete fool. She hasn't stopped. One of the best freshmen in the country. Also get a chance to watch them. I can't wait till they take on Maryland because that's going to be fun. But again, 9-4-50 breakdown, Jamal Hayward. Breakdown of dribble handoff as well as making reads off dribble handoff. Again, breakdown of a dribble handoff as well as making reads off dribble handoff. Check this out. You might learn something. After that, we'll have the second break. And when we get back, quick Wizards update. Cardell going to talk to you about a showcase in the area, a little bit of rapid fire, and that's how we're going to wrap up the first show of the 2021 calendar year. Again, 9-4-50 breakdown. We'll see you guys soon.
Dribble over to me. I'm coming for the handoff. Just pay attention. So let's walk through it. I'm coming for the handoff. Stay here through the handoff. Just on this side. Go with your right hand. 1 or 2 dribbles. Pull up or layup. We're doing earlier, okay? Other option. Quicker option. I'm not sure if you watch Duncan Robinson, but Duncan Robinson uses the inside hand. So now. As you do whatever you're doing here, I walk over here, and I come back, and I come with the handoff. Inside, go, still left, right, forward, shot, or layup, okay? Now, here's where you start to read the defense, okay? So, I set my man up, now I'm walking towards you. If my man goes under the screen, I can get the handoff stop right here, shoot the shot. That's only if he goes under, okay? So you got the screen, but that's when you walk. So again, you're here, screen goes under, I got the shot here, okay? Now, other option. Handoff, I'm here. If my defender cheats over, okay? If my defender cheats over, I can plant my foot, go back door or fade here for a jump shot or an attack or pull up or layup, okay? Dribble over to me. I'm coming for the handoff. Just pay attention. So let's walk through it. I'm coming for the handoff. Stay here through the handoff. Just on this side. Go with your right hand. 1 or 2 dribbles. Pull up or layup. We're doing earlier, okay? Other option. Quicker option. I'm not sure if you watch Duncan Robinson, but Duncan Robinson uses the inside hand. So now. As you do whatever you're doing here, I walk over here, and I come back, and I come with the handoff. Inside, go, still left, right, forward, shot, or layup, okay? Now, here's where you start to read the defense, okay? So, I set my man up, now I'm walking towards you. If my man goes under the screen, I can get the handoff stop right here, shoot the shot. That's only if he goes under, okay? So you got the screen, but that's when you walk. So again, you're here, screen goes under, I got the shot here, okay? Now, other option. Handoff, I'm here. If my defender cheats over, okay? If my defender cheats over, I can plant my foot, go back door or fade here for a jump shot or an attack or pull up or layup, okay? So.
Welcome back to the Focus TV. Again, I want to thank Jamal Hayward for the first installment of the 9-4-50 breakdown of 2021. It still feels weird saying that, but so happy not to be saying 2020 at the same time. All right, so quick update on the Wizards. And again, follow us on social you guys, if you're Wizard fans, you follow the team. Literally after each and every game, we have Wizards Outlook. It's Raymond, Cardell, myself, just sharing our thoughts on the game, breaking down what happened. Cardell provides some insight from the post game. But as far as the Wizards, what they've been up to, they're coming off back-to-back wins. They beat the Wolves and the Nets. Up next, they have the Sixers, the Celtics, and the Heat. So, a tough stretch of games coming up. And again, Wizards Outlook, each and every night that they do, in fact, play a game. Cardell, you wanted to chime in on the Wizards?
Nah, man. We're going to save it all for tomorrow. You know what we about. You know what we on. Keep bringing that same defensive intensity, man. Simple as that.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't known, that's pretty much the message. So that's why for literally in the show plan, it said 10 minutes. I knew it wasn't going to be that long because pretty much for 15 to 30 minutes after each and every game, we've been talking about what's going on. All right. Got a showcase in the area. Cardell, you want to shed some light for everyone?
Yep. Yeah. St. James NIBC Invitational. For those of you that follow the show, me, Wilson, and Raymond, we went down to the St. James last year. Kevin Durant had a showcase where they this year they're doing a little something different, but it's the same type of deal. They partnered up with the St. James, the Team Durant people, and obviously with COVID, everybody need all the reps and exposure that they can get, and this is what this is about. It's an invitational showcase that will be taking place over 8 days from January 8th to the 18th. It will feature some of the top teams and players in the country. Literally, like this I'm getting to is loaded. Teams set to participate, and these rankings are determined by Max Prep, according to the St. James website. Montverde Academy, #1 in the country. IMG Academy, #2 in the country. Sunrise Christian Academy, #3 in the country. Paul VI, #4 in the country. The Mather, #5. Legacy Early College, #9. Lumiere School, #10. Wasatch Academy, 11. Oak Hill, 13. Arizona Campus Prep, 15th. St. Francis Academy, 17th. And John Marshall High School, 22nd. Then you have a local power in Bishop Walsh and Hamilton Heights. We saw them last year. A lot of long athletes, high major talented athletes. Houston High School and High School of Louisville. One matchup I'm looking forward to see is between the WCAC and MIAA Powers. The Mather will be taking on Baltimore Power St. Francis, January 18th at 9 a.m. That game will surely have a lot of hype locally. Those are honestly, when you look at both conferences over the last few years, those two are usually either in the championship or winning it in their respective conferences. So I guess you could say it's a battle between the DMV area and Baltimore. Then you have Montverde versus IMG, January 17th at 7:30. Then you have Montverde versus Oak Hill at 7 p.m., January 15th. This is definitely one of the showcases where everybody wants smoke and nobody's ducking everybody and everybody's dangerous. So, I'm happy that I'll be there to attend. I'll be attending the cover. We got some things planned and maximize the coverage and just bring all the results and who's showing out to everybody who's following us. Simple as that.
All right. So once again, shameless plug that it's fine for us to do because it's our program. Follow us on social media. 2021, we're busy. We've been busy through the holiday season. Yes, we weren't doing this program, but we were still in fact busy. We're going to continue to be busy. So the easiest thing is you can wait till Tuesday. That is your choice. No one's stopping you. I will not fault you for that. If you want maybe a little bit more real-time updates in terms of initially after things happen, follow us on social media. It's oh so easy. All right, everyone's favorite time of the show but mine, rapid fire. What you got for us this week?
All right, got a funny one that kind of happened. I got a funny one that just kind of came through. Marvin Bagley III, father, publicly asked the Kings to trade his son Marvin Bagley. Darren Fox, dad, seemed ready for the change as well. He followed up on the tweet, trade him. Marvin Bagley, the son, he shot down potential questions during the presser about his dad's tweet. And, Darren put out a tweet following what his father said Jesus Christ afterwards. But covering the EYBL for years. I'm a fan of De'Aaron. I love his pops, man. His pops old school. His pops old school. Like no cut card, tell it like it is, no excuses. He ain't one of them parents that you deal with today. Look, man, you ain't, and it applies to De'Aaron. If De'Aaron ain't getting it done, he'll talk about him too. Like you gotta step it up. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. It's not just for any player. He just tell it like it is, and I respect that. But what are your thoughts on this whole situation with Marvin Bagley his father asking for to trade him, and then De'Aaron Fox chiming in? We're gonna start with you, Raymond.
First of all, it was hilarious. I got a good laugh out of that. But what's Bagley's father's problem? I mean, I guess he can do whatever he wants on his social media, but I mean that's just immature and foolish. Like, why would you drive a wedge like that between your child and the franchise? I mean, he's not even a child anymore; he's a grown man. Like, if he has an issue, like I'm sure he can handle it himself. Like, he doesn't need you to be his spokesperson. But I appreciated Fox's father chiming in. That was just hilarious to me. And based on the description you just gave him, it makes all the sense in the world now. But yeah, people got to stop playing these games and on social media because next thing you know, if they do trade him maybe they trade him to an unfavorable situation, who knows? Then Papa Bagley have something to say about that too. So just keep quiet and let things play out as they should. That's really all I got to say about it. Keep your dirty laundry in house, man. Don't play these games in public like that because De'Aaron Fox father is going to respond to you and have you looking foolish.
Octavia.
I just want people to mind the business that pays them. Like, the Sacramento Kings are not paying you, sir, father. They are paying your son, who Ray has just eloquently stated is a grown man. First of all, stop babying this child if that's what you think you're doing, or I don't even know what this is. Like, I'm so over all of it. Like, I feel like certain parents shouldn't have social media. Like, we need to start putting like a license on social media where you got to take a test every 2 years or something to get your social media license renewed, because this is ridiculous. Like, mind business. And if that's how you felt, tell that to your son, not to your Twitter followers. Like, why? And just like Ray said, like, so if he does get traded, what if he gets traded somewhere, again, that he doesn't want to be, or he gets put in a worse situation? Or how about this? What if he gets cut? What if he gets cut? And then what if nobody wants to pick him up? And then nobody wants to deal with you? And no foolishness. So I hope behind closed doors, the son, Marvin Bagley III, I believe it is, not junior or whatever, I hope he checked his dad. Like, I really do. Like, because at that point in time, like, you messing with my business and my money and my livelihood and everything that I have worked hard for. Yes, I'm not saying that his dad has not worked hard as well, because more than likely without his dad, he might not be where he is. I get that. But, and I'm speaking as not a parent, of course, but as a parent, like, you should want your child to, you feel like you should have taught them everything that they should know, trained them up the way that they should be, and allow them to make their own decisions as a grown-up. But it's this whole basketball dynamic thing and how parents are, and they just want to take over and live vicariously through their children and do all this other nonsense. So I really hope he checked them in a respectable way, because of course it's still his dad, but I hope his dad understands that, like, that's not your place. You're my dad. Yes, you're supposed to support me in everything that I do, but you're not my agent. You're not my business manager. You're not my accountant. Like, I hate stuff like this. That's why I could never really get on the whole LeVar Ball train. Like, I get wanting to stand for your kid and root for your kid and everything, but the time and the place to do things, and you never want to make your child feel embarrassed or put in a bad spot. And this to me is what it's doing, because obviously we're talking about it. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Mr. Tarpon.
Just be careful what you ask for, man. Like, for all you know, you the reason that Buddy Hield didn't get traded yet. Maybe they try and throw you in is the sweetener and nobody wants you. Like, tell your dad, settle on down. Buddy been trying to get out of there. You know, and I'm not saying what I'm saying is true. I don't know. I don't work there. I don't know people. But we all know Buddy been open, like, yeah, I'm good. Can we move on, please? This is cool. It's been fun. I would like greener pastures. And for you, you haven't even played to the level that Buddy's played to yet in his career. So you need to focus on you right now. And then you can maybe think about getting traded, but you got to be viewed as an asset to be for another team to want to do business. And right now, you know, we're looking back at that draft where they took you in, and folks are looking at the team that chose you kind of funny. Like, what did you do? And with people that were on the board. So if I were you on your team, I would ask that you focus on getting better, prove that you're an asset, so maybe you can leave. But you should keep your head down, because right now there's a couple folks in your draft class that look like they should have went where you went, sir. So tell your popsies, you know, shut up.
I mean, that's just the AAU mentality carrying over to the pros. But you gotta understand, like Octavia said, he's a grown man. He got to face these battles. Let's just keep it real. Luka and Trey putting hella pressure on that boy. Like, and he can barely stay healthy to help the Kings come, you know, be relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't even played a full season yet, 3 years. Last year he played 13. He got hurt, six starts. He's played all 7 so far this year, but he's only averaging 24 minutes, 10 points and 8 rebounds, but shooting 35% from the field and 26% from 3. Like, that's you. You got to control that. You know what I'm saying? It's make Luke Walton have to play you. And also, let's keep it a buck. Same thing happening here with a lot of guys defensively. Can you get stops? You haven't been able to get stops on the perimeter, so they playing you down low. But Rashawn Holmes and Harrison Barnes are getting it done down there. Okay, so you getting exposed on the perimeter, then you go down low. You're not even protecting the rim. So what do you want Luke Walton to do? You know what I mean? And that's something you should just talk to Luke Walton about. You know, like, ask him. But this notion that, and which I hate with a lot of players, that you should just get minutes just because I guess you've always been a man in high school and AAU in college. That don't, man. Look, every time you move up a level, no one cares. No one cares, man. I'm dead ass serious. When I was in college, every teammate I had, like, seriously, every teammate on my team was the leading scorer in their conference or for their team, wherever they came from. They were the leading scorer. They were the man. But when they came to practice, no one cared. That was not talked about. I mean, it may be brought up when you talking trash, you battling or something. You know how it go, man. A little ego back, man. But nobody cared, man. Whatever, dog. And that's it. And some of them didn't even play. They was on the bench. Having to ask questions like, why don't you play no more? See what I'm saying? It's basketball. You either adapt or you get left behind. And I'm like, bro, you on your 3rd year. So that option, that rookie option, is kind of iffy. The fact they haven't picked it up yet says a lot. And your pops is not helping, because now it's going to create a reputation for you throughout the league. It's like, no, we're not dealing with that nigga stuff. You're not even going to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, it's in all sports, you, depending on your production, they will tolerate certain things. Look at Antonio Brown. When he was an all-pro, he was a distraction, but he was catching 100 balls, killing. So they dealt with it. Then he finally went too far. We done. Then the production wasn't there. Oh, and he looking humble as a mug down there with Tom. You don't hear a peep out on him.
He dropped his knees every time he scored.
On his best behavior now. On his best behavior. It's like the kid that act up at school but pop short with the belt, man. And he next thing you know, he in front of the class getting straight A's and stuff. But that's what. Why does it have to take a whooping for you to come to get to your senses, man? Just work on your game, because this is not on Luke. This is on you. It'd be different if you was putting in work and he just not playing. You'd be like, come on, dog, put the boy in. He getting in. Every time he get in, he makes an impact. Nah, man, you can't keep making excuses like this, man. And he just got, like Octavia said, he wants to check pops before it's too late because he can't keep doing this. This ain't the first time either.
Yeah, he got
My
it for
bad,
something.
Octavia. We got Miles Sanders.
Oh no, I know
No
it. Come on, bring
Philadelphia.
it.
Nah, it ain't it to you. I just had to ask, man. He said so. No Philadelphia Eagles player liked the quarterback switch from Jalen Hurts to Nate Sudfeld. Eagles running back Miles Sanders said nobody on the team was in favor of the decision to pull quarterback Jalen Hurts in favor of Nate Sudfeld during a 3-point game early in the fourth quarter against the Washington football team on Sunday night. He said, if I'm being honest, nobody liked the decision. Nobody. That's all I can say. Sanders said during an appearance on 94.1 WIP on Tuesday, he said, I don't know who was the main person behind the decision, but all I know is a lot of people on the team were confused. Peterson said the plan during the week was to get Sudfeld some snaps in a Week 17 game that had no playoff implications for the Eagles. Some players, including the quarterbacks, knew of the intention to insert Sudfeld into the game in the second half, while others were caught by surprise. Senator Jason Kelsey, a team leader, approached Peterson to ask him about his decision to pull Hurts during the game. A source confirmed those described as non-confrontational. According to the Philadelphia Inquirer, 2 defensive players had to be held back from approaching Peterson after the move was made. ESPN has not confirmed that report. So we're going to start with our resident Eagle fan. What's with all this drama, Octavia? Don't y'all have enough?
It's Philadelphia. What else is there to do? It's supposed to be the city of brotherly love, right? It's not our love. I'll be honest, like, to hear Miles say that, especially somebody that wasn't even in the game. It's not like he played that game. He wasn't even playing that game. So that just shows you how much of it ruffled a lot of feathers out there, you could tell. I did hear before the game that they said that was his plan to get Sudfeld some snaps. But I don't think that anybody, and this is a perfect picture because that's what my face looked like when it happened. Perfect. But nobody probably thought that if it was obviously we all knew it was a game that nobody cared about. As far as it wasn't getting us to the playoffs, it wasn't going to stop anybody from going to. I mean, it would stop the Redskins or the Washington football team from going, but then the Giants would go. It's not like it's going to stop anybody from our division getting anywhere. It was going to happen. And like I said, it was already noted that was kind of the game plan. Miles Sanders didn't play. Fletcher Cox didn't play. Alshon Jeffrey didn't play. Deshaun, like all these players didn't play. All these players that were healthy enough, they may have had injuries, but they were healthy enough to play. So to me, it was already pre-decided that this is a game just to see who got what. And that's why you saw the J.J. Arcega-Whiteside leading and receiving and stuff like that. And Carson Wentz didn't even dress for the game. So it was Jalen and it was Nate. And I just think what threw everybody off is because the game was so close. If it wasn't close, if there was no opportunity for them to even possibly win the game, then I can see it. But the fact that it was as close, is they're men. They have egos. They want to go out at least trying to win. And for him to pull him for Nate just to see what he can do, to me it was bogus. Like I can sit here and say that it was bogus in my opinion. Who knows whose decision it was? I know Doug said it was his decision. He did talk about it in pregame. Well, in meetings before the game started that he wanted to get him some snaps, but I'm all for Nate Sudfeld never getting another snap again ever in the league. So I was never behind that situation. And even because bye, I will say they sabotaged him. But I will say they probably didn't play their best because they continuously during the game they kept showing how upset the offensive line was. Like every time, like they were like, "All right, is he really going back out again?" Like you could see, like, and Kelsey being the center, the one that's been here all year, the probably the longest tenure outside of Jason Peters that was on the line. Like you could see, like he was pissed too. So I can't blame them. I would be upset too, but to me, on the other hand, it's just like it wasn't going to do nothing anyway, y'all. Like we sucked all year. Yes, of course, your pride and your ego wants to win. You always want to win. I get that, but It's a business. They got other things they're looking at. We just talked about cap room for next year. They got to evaluate people to see who they're getting up out of here, especially because we didn't have a preseason. We didn't have a training camp. We didn't have a lot of time to evaluate people. We're losing our defensive coordinator. You know, he's leaving, taking a sabbatical for a year or whatever the hell he's doing. It's just a lot. It's a lot going on. It's going to be a crazy offseason. Who knows what's going to happen? And I mean, I still can't give you an answer of why he put in Sudfeld because he sucks. Like, I don't know what he needed to see, but obviously he felt like he needed to see something. I didn't need to see anything. I could have kept my eyes closed for the entire time and told you exactly what happened. Interception, fumble, incorrect pass.
Well, you can't go.
You missed the
touchdown. You get Goldberg Spirit. What you want him to do? Come on, Raymond. This hate got to stop. Go ahead, Raymond.
Nah, man. We could have done without it. Trust me. It's definitely not an excuse to just be like, but it's cool though, because I'm okay now because we got the 6th pick, and if they mess up this drive this year, they might be testing my fandom. I'm just saying. Like, we done messed up in the last 2 drives. Last 2 drives, we done messed up.
Oh, man.
I'm a agent. And I already know where I'm going too.
Like, get ready.
I have
out of the NFC East. It's out. I'm out of there. If I was to ever not be Eagles fan again, I'm out of the NFC East. It is a wrap.
Man, after you 30, you can't change teams.
I know, man. I'm trying not to, but it's driving me insane.
But man, look, I halfway get their frustration. Like, you know, of course you want to win the game, and it was close when he made the decision. But I mean, it's week 17 in a game that really doesn't matter for you. And where was the fieriness and competitive nature of the previous 16 weeks? Like,
where?
Yeah, I don't understand why you got so riled up at this point. But you know, who am I to judge? You know, they're entitled to their feelings. But yeah, it was a weird move. But I don't think it's all the uproar is justifiable in my eyes. I mean it. Yeah, I honestly don't care. Yeah, these pictures are hilarious, but yeah, man, like don't.
Rodney funny. Rodney know what he doing. Rodney funny as hell.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, wait, I just ran for 2 touchdowns. Why did I get
look like a meme, man.
Yeah, don't get all excited now, man. It's at the 11th hour when pretty much your fate is decided. Like, all right, man. It's cool. It's cool to just be scratching your head and be like, you know, why would he do that? But all this having to be held back, you didn't have to be held back when when you were on the field. So yeah, chill out, man. Just go ahead and clean out your locker and get ready for next year.
Take your exit interview and exit the building.
You can go to Cancun.
The exits are this way. Get out.
Go ahead, Wilson. You go ahead and close it. Just re-sign Nate Sudfeld, owner.
Take them. I will draw the paperwork up myself.
Oh my goodness! All right.
I'm doing contract negotiations and everything.
I share my little 2 cents, and we'll close up. Look, man, a lot of that anger is because everybody's not coming back next year, man. So, like, what we just saw was the team that won the Super Bowl, right? The window with that team is closed. I hate to break it to you, Philly fans. It accidentally happened. You got your bowl currently constructed. Bad management. They weren't winning anything again. You kept Alshon 2 years. Stupid you. Yeah, time's up. Time to get rid of all those folks. All right? That's why Carson and them try to run like a mini coup. I don't care what nobody says. Ain't nobody going to convince me that all that leaking ain't come from somebody who wasn't trying to get the coach out of there because they know they could be out of there. So maybe you made sure you secured the 6th pick because wide receivers are coming out, and maybe you want to make sure your new quarterback has a nice shiny new toy, maybe one of his former teammates, to play with going forward in Philadelphia. As for the rest of you old people who were here, didn't put up much of a fight, Doug probably ain't got time for all you. So the offense ain't worked for like 12 weeks. Y'all were quiet while your man was out here trying and sabotaging the whole year. Y'all said nothing. I hear all this animosity. My man was out here throwing blind, messing up, tricking away everything because you paid somebody maybe a little too early than they got paid, and they probably felt some type of way because y'all shared something magical and he was not a part of it. You've been outside looking in the entire time. And then you paid him for it. You didn't have to. Nobody told you to do that because he was not a part of that run y'all went on. He was just there. He contributed as much as we all did during that playoff run. That was the defense, Alshon, Foles and them, and I don't know. But ever since the Super Bowl, Frank Reich left, play calling ain't been the same, right? Carson been there, everything looked broken. Nobody wants to say it out loud. Not allowed to say these things. All of a sudden, you take Carson out. Is that hope and fight and a spirit in Philadelphia? My, that's interesting how that happens. Where was this prior? I just don't get it. And then, I don't know, been watching sports for a long time, but it's interesting to me that y'all didn't feel no type of, I didn't see none of this energy when y'all pulled old boy for Jalen to come in. Won't nobody bring back Carson. Ain't nobody say none of this stuff. It was just like about time. That's what I heard. Because it was quiet. It was just, shit, now we got a chance. And that's why y'all acting like that. But the rest of y'all that know that's going to be there next year, Fletcher Cox, he good. He ain't worried about that. He a franchise cornerstone. He's good. The Kelceys, it's been real. Zach Ertz, hope you enjoyed your stay here. You're going to be somebody's tight end number 2 somewhere, unless somebody can't get nothing else, and you can be tight end number 1 there. Philly pretty much got your best days out you. I'm sure they appreciated what happened. At least you were a part of that special journey. You did win a Super Bowl. Carson can't say that. You know what I'm saying? He got a ring, but you were there. You contributed. You always have that. But, bro, they got to turn the page. They paying a whole lot of y'all old folks money, and y'all not even making it through the city. We got through the season. Alshon, Deshaun, bro, all the money in the wide receiver room, everybody this bad, all the draft picks or whatever. I'm more concerned with the fact that y'all gave people that were over their prime money, and then missed on the picks. Y'all said Jalen Reagor was deaf, blind, and couldn't catch. Changed quarterbacks, and he could catch the ball. Seems like Jalen's probably going to be there too. It's just a bunch of folks mad because they about to slide this 5 on. Hey, look, what is it like 5 on, 5 off? This is about to happen in Philadelphia. And Doug is chilling because guess who's going to be there? Doug ain't worried. Doug talked to Howie. Howie was like, all right, Doug, what we finna do? Y'all mad because y'all ain't a part of the we. It's been real. I hope you enjoyed the stay. Hopefully you find a home somewhere. You're not going to get paid what you were just getting paid. That cap going down and y'all's production. The NFL of all places, production-based business because they haggle about every penny. Hopefully there's other things in life you enjoy doing because if there's tape from this year, I know that's not you're not even helping your agent go out there and try to pitch what you did. There's nothing to show. Ain't nothing to show. There's at least 7 weeks for nothing. I'm just going to be real. So, I don't understand what y'all mad for. You should have been mad and blocked for Carson. You should have been mad and blocked for Jalen. The whole O-line, there's one of y'all that might be around. There's one of y'all. He just learned how to play offensive line. I'm not messing with this stuff.
If it's anybody to be Dillard, probably. They like Dillard, but he got hurt. Everybody else is old.
I was going to say the Samoan cat.
Still Marlon?
I can't. The Samoan one. I can't say his last name, but yeah, he might be around, but that might be it. So you're going to go in the draft. You got the 6th pick. You got you got some assets. Somebody might want a Carson somewhere. There's a bunch of teams that don't know how to find quarterbacks. Here's a Carson. Give us picks.
It's a Carson.
Because it's going to be somebody. There's a bunch of teams.
I'm not even a hater. Every time I see Lamar play, I'll just be sick, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, Elway.
It's the same way I felt
when I see
Justin Jefferson.
Oh, I know you sick. And then the crazy, but you know what the worst part? The worst part, which I was like Reagor ain't even bad. It's just it sucks for him because of what he got brought into. Everybody mad at him. You're in a place where nobody knows how to use you. Everybody got mad at you.
Might not even been as good as he is with what we had.
I mean, he probably
So
would have ate here too, but I mean, I don't know because what's it called was under center. We don't know.
exactly,
That's the fun part about it.
That's what I mean. That's
But
exactly
it
what
was
I
cute
mean.
that it was cute that Philly people got mad. Like, you won 6 games. Shut up. It should have been 5, but shout out to Nick Mullins. Shut up. That one don't even count. Nick Mullins gave you out there, so you really won 5.
We appreciate
Shout out to my man Nick Mullins. Yeah, Nick Mullins was like, here, take another one. Here. That's how y'all win a
You
game.
know I don't let him live that down either. You know I don't let him live it down either. He told me we suck every day. I'm like, but we beat y'all. I don't care.
No. Hey, look, you know what? You know who y'all beat? The spread, maybe? Nick Mullins did all the work. Shout out to him. I hope y'all find him. Y'all need a new back.
I don't know. He had a 49 jersey on. That's all I knew.
I want to take
That's all I knew. He had
y'all.
a 49 jersey on.
See, I'm going to continue to be an adult. It's okay. The offseason going to come. I'm going to be patient. It's going to be ugly, y'all.
Me too.
I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the first show of 2021. Get over to finestmag.com. I'm autosports.com. We look forward to being back with you guys next Tuesday. In between then, follow us on social media, man. As we told you, so much is going on. Literally, we'll see y'all tomorrow night for Wizards Outlook. Like, literally, that soon. There are no breaks. Yeah. It's so bad when there is a break, I'm always thinking I'm missing something. Shout out to the NBA compressed schedule. Y'all have a good night.